Tom the Surfmaster Thayer.
For just the third time in the history of the Bears-Packers series, we get a playoff matchup. This one, Saturday night, 7:10, the kickoff, primetime, with the whole world watching from Soldier Field. The wild card playoff game between the NFC North champs and the number 7 NFC seed, the Green Bay Packers. We discuss tonight on Bears Weekly here on ESPN 1000 and the Chicago Bears Radio Network with Super Bowl winning Bears guard Tom Thayer. I'm Jeff Joniak. Coming up, we run some of our Bears Etc. podcast interview with Hall of Fame middle linebacker Brian Urlacher. Our Bears Game Day Live player profile to be seen on Fox 32 Chicago Saturday afternoon, 12:30 to 2 p.m. with rookie wide receiver Luther Burton. Bears head coach Ben Johnson from the podium today in his final news conference of the week, and Bears defensive assistant Matt Giordano on getting his guys ready and just the mindset of playing in what may be, for many, their first playoff game. Dan Barilli, Jordan Tredup, Katie Fox, our producers, Kendra Smith helping us out in our ESPN studios, the executive producer of the Bears Radio Network, Eric Ostrowski. Tom, are you playoff ready? That's all I got to ask.
I've been ready since the conclusion of the last game, but I think every day it amps up a little bit, and I think that's the unique thing about this rivalry and the lack of times they've actually played in the playoffs. So that kind of gives you more opportunity for conversation, not only between me and you, but from a lot of different people that I've talked to around the country and in this area about the excitement that's overflowing right now for this game.
Pretty much this game's got everything you want. As a football fan, forget about Green Bay, Chicago. This game has everything you want, given how these two teams have crossed each other's path, what the NFC North, how difficult of a challenge it has been, as we predicted before the season even began, and just how the Bears and a first-year head coach like Ben Johnson went about their business this year.
Yeah, listen, I mean, you can get place to place in a 4-hour car ride, and it captured the attention of the nation. And I think that's the unique thing about two teams that are so close in proximity, but they're capturing the entirety of the football audience. And is the special thing about this rivalry, because, you know, regardless of what the records are, regardless of what the standings are, it's always going to be one of the most hard-fought physical games that you will ever play in.
Injury report, they came out, the final one for the week. 3 Bears will not be able to play. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Aman Agbangbamiga, and Joe Tyron Shoyinka, all with concussions, so they will not go. Kyler Gordon listed as questionable. There's an expectation that he will be on the field. Same story for Roma Dunze, had a full practice here today. And Ozzie Trapillo, Tom, full practice with that quad.
Good for him. I'm glad that Ozzie can get right back at it. You know, you don't want to spend too much time on the sidelines, especially when you're a guy that's kind of playing left tackle on the NFL level for the first time. You don't want to get too far away from the techniques of the position or the relationships that you've built with both left guard Joe Thuney and the tight end position playing.
All right, let's dig into the tape in our show today. We start with head coach Ben Johnson, his final a day at the podium, a lot of conversation about what his plans are, what the demeanor of the team is, and frankly, what this playoff game and every playoff game is always going to be about from Ben.
I'm rooted in the fundamentals, particularly on games like this. It's about blocking, it's about tackling, it's about catching the ball, it's about ball security. Things of that nature come out to the forefront, and so I'm more concerned with playing sound football, making sure that we're putting our guys in a good spot. I mean, we got a lot of talented players, and you just want them to play fast, play confident, and put them in good spots. And so that's what we're concerned about as a coaching staff. I've tried to be pretty steady Eddie just in terms of demeanor throughout the season, and that doesn't change here and now. That's my role, and you know, I think the guys are going to show up, and I think they're excited for this opportunity, and I'm excited to see them play.
And you've talked a couple times about the back end of Green Bay's defense and the safeties and what they bring. With Evan Williams in particular, what catches your eye? What kind of presence do you see he has?
Both him and McKinney are really good. I don't know if there's a better safety tandem right now this year. And I know the team we faced last week, they had a couple guys that are hurt. Those are 2 really good players as well. But these 2 guys, you just got to account for them. It's I think the safety position in general is one that it's rare that you go into a game feeling like there's an impact player, and yet this particular week, like these 2 guys they're all over the field. I think they're highly instinctive. They do a great job when the ball's in the air, making plays, I know McKinney had all those interceptions last year. He did a great job with that. And then I think it's been pretty cool to see Evan Williams just kind of grow over the course of his career to where he's an impact player for him now. We gotta do our best to take them out of the running game because they're very active. They do a great job tackling. And then when our backs get them one-on-one, they have done a good job all year getting these backs down. And so we got a big challenge in front of us there, and Halfley's done a nice job putting them in good spots.
When did you get a sense that maybe the players, the locker room, the team kind of took on your identity?
Shoot, I don't know that. You try to, like I said before, you're consistent. You see your messaging get talked about a little bit more over the course of the season. I think our assistant coaches do a phenomenal job of things that we think are important going into a week, instilling that throughout the week with our players. And as I've talked about all year long, we have some really good veteran leaders that help the cause. They help to keep the focus on football. It's a long season. There can be a lot of distractions that go on, and we're no different than any other team. We've had to deal with those every step of the way, and yet our guys, they show up and they're ready to play on game day. I don't know that necessarily identity, anything like that, but yet I am proud of how these guys have approached each and every game, each and every week, and each and every day, because it's hard. It's hard to stay focused and dialed in and be at your best at all times.
On that note, Colston said yesterday that your message after the Lions game was, if you're thinking about anything else, booking flights, not keeping the focus away from here, don't be here. Is that something that you rely on your captains then to deliver that message down, the veteran guys to express the importance of the finish line is in sight, they've got to be the ones to lead your guys there? Yeah,
the intent behind that is just to let the young players who haven't been here before, it's really just to understand that we're all in with everything we're doing, the here and the now. And like I've already mentioned, it's just you don't take it for granted when you're a coach or a player and you've been around for a while and you haven't made the playoffs a number of times to make it, and you just want to make sure that everyone is focused on winning the next game. And that's really the whole focus behind it is that intent.
Despite having won the most recent matchup on December 20th against the Packers on that Saturday night, what do you think needs to be better against the Packers, even relative to winning that game?
Yeah, I mean they're a very talented group from top to bottom, and we've kept the game close both times we played them and had a chance at the end of the game to come out on top. I'd like to see us play better early in the game, particularly on offense. It felt like last couple times we played, we haven't gotten off to as fast of a start as you'd like. I think, particularly the first game against them in the first half, we did not do well on third down. Second half, we were a little bit better and we had a little bit more success moving the ball. The last game we played against them, same thing. They did a good job with their third down plan, and we weren't able to stay on the field. I think the story of both games so far has been their offense possessing the ball, and when that happens, you just have limited opportunities, limited possessions, and it makes each play and each possession that much more valuable. And so we just got to be mindful of that and make sure we're making the most of the opportunities. Their offense is one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL on third and fourth down. And so that we got a big challenge there in terms of getting off the field when we get them in those situations. And yet, I do feel good about our red zone defense, and they came through big for us last time we played, and would like to see that happen again.
What do you learn from your playoff experience last year that's instructive?
Exactly what I just said. It's about those little things, the details. Every blade of grass matters. Every inch matters. Finish matters, and that's what we expect to see.
Very calm Ben at the podium here on Thursday. Yeah. Calm is preparation. There's a tornado inside.
Right, exactly. That's the thing about it. We talked about it in our podcast this week about questions that you can ask coaches, and it's super difficult for them to answer. And Ben is no different. maybe he hides his emotions a little bit better later in the week because he wants to have that cool, calm, resolved person showing up there at the podium, but I don't necessarily think that's it. But how much information are you really going to give? And like I said, you can be in Green Bay, you can be in Milwaukee, you can turn on the radio station, and you can listen to Ben Johnson. So it's not something that you have to have some type of listening device that goes cross-country to hear what he has to say. So, Ben, don't give him any information. Everything keep in your back pocket. Whatever the first 15 plays that you have picked out, who's going to be ready and able and willing to go, and let it unfold Saturday night.
Coming up next, a conversation with the Hall of Famer, Brian Urlacher from our Bears Etc. podcast this week. A portion of that coming up next here on Bears Weekly on ESPN 1000 and the Bears Radio Network.
Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer chatting about the Bears. It must be Bears Weekly.
Well, if it's Bears Weekly,
it must be the home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
This segment of Bears Weekly is brought to you by IGS Energy. Jeff and Tom here on Bears Weekly, getting ready for Bears Packers. Brian Urlacher was kind enough to take some time out in a conversation we had. Awesome. And what he has seen from this Bears team, what the expectations are for the first-time playoff for many members of this football team, and where this matchup with the Green Bay Packers will be like, with the crowd going crazy. He's going to help that. He'll be at Soldier Field along with Devin Hester. They will be the honorary captains to stir up that crowd. Here's our conversation with number 54.
I'll tell you what, I don't think they're going to need to get riled up in the fourth, me, especially by me. What I saw when they played Green Bay last time on TV, I can't remember seeing Soldier Field like that. When I played, I don't remember it being like that. I've never seen the crowd, like the towels were waving. I mean, everyone was, it sounded really loud on TV. Obviously I wasn't there, but I mean, the fans that really came out this year and supported, I think they don't realize how big of a help that is for the team, especially a defensive player. When it's loud on third down, it is hard for that offense to communicate, and it's definitely an advantage for us.
You had some great crowds back in your time, though.
For sure.
Great crowds. Any that stick out to you when they went crazy?
Oh, my gosh,
a lot
man.
of them.
There's so many, Jeff. Our fans, even when we stunk, like I said this before, they were always there. They always turned out for us. They always cheered at the right time. They're always they're very football savvy fans, so they understand the right time to cheer. But I can't remember one more than another. I would say the NFC Championship game in 2006 probably was my favorite crowd, just because no one left when we got that NFC Championship trophy. I think the stadium was still full when we were getting the trophy after the game.
Brian, this is going to be in my in-person 85th time of being in front of a Bears-Packers crowd.
Oh, my gosh.
And I still carry a lot of the same emotions from the week leading up to it, from the moments before the game, through the game, and whatever happens immediately following the game. I'm right on top of things, and I've been here my whole life. What is your emotional attachment to the appreciation for what the Bears are doing this year and for what they're going to be going through Saturday night?
I think it's excitement. It's amazing to see how far they've come in just one season under Ben Johnson. I don't think anyone had him pegged going this far, doing this well, this quickly under him. I think we knew Caleb had some talent. He's played so great this year. Defense has played great, got tons of takeaways. But I remember watching the game versus Green Bay a couple weeks ago, and after they won, after they caught DJ caught that pass in overtime, I was like, enjoy it. Enjoy it, fellas. You earned it. Enjoy it. You put yourself in this position so you can, when you have these moments, they should be enjoyable for you. It was in front of our fans. I don't think anyone left the game that day either. Just an amazing moment. And my biggest thing is for them to enjoy it.
How do you watch the game? For me, I watch the game probably through the eyes of an offensive lineman first, and my eyes gravitate all over from there. But I was a big film watcher. You've always said that you weren't didn't watch a lot of film. But how do you watch the game as a spectator?
I think I watch it as a fan mostly. Just I don't really watch the linebackers. I don't really watch. I think I kind of see the play develop, and I process it in my mind, if that makes sense. I think I see it as a linebacker, but I don't watch the linebackers, if that makes sense. I'm not specifically watching Tremaine and TJ dissect the play, but I'm watching it from a linebacker's point of view. Like, there's so many pre-snap shifts now that I'm like, okay, they're doing this for that. Like, what's the coverage we're in? They're trying to dissect us. Is it a run? Is it a pass? Is our box heavy? Is it light? What are we doing? There's a lot of things that are going through my head. I'm usually saying them out loud when my wife's like, what are you talking about when we're watching the games? But usually I'm saying them out loud to the TV or screaming.
Is there something comparable with the Rams of Mike Martz and The Greatest Show on Turf? Because they had a lot of shifting, and I was always told, hey, it's just a shell game. just keep your eye on your keys and let it rip. But, with Kyle Shanahan and what they're doing up in Green Bay and what Ben's doing, is that more complex for you as a linebacker as you're sitting at home shouting things out to your wife, Jennifer?
It's just a lot of stuff to take in pre-snap. You have a key every play, and if your key moves or if, usually when 2 or 3 guys move, you have to change the strength of the defense. You have to change your gap. There's just a lot, and I think that's why they do that. And plus it helps them decipher what defense you're in. Is it zone? Is it man? How many guys are in the box? I think they do most of it just to figure out what you're doing. I don't know. I never played offense, so I have no idea why they do it. But it's frustrating as a linebacker when you have to change everything, go back, and a lot of communication has to take place out there. So you got to be on the same page, and maybe that's why they do it. But it is a lot going on.
They talk about TJ and Tremaine switching positions within this defense of Dennis Allen. Were you and Lance interchangeable, or were you guys super specific in what you were asked to do out of your linebacker position and the defense you played?
We both knew what the other guy was doing. I did not want to be a Will. I don't think Lance wanted to be a Mike. We could, there were certain times in third down where if they motioned, he would be the Mike and I would be the Will. He'd be the middle run through and I would be the hook dropper. Not very often. We got to the point where we just switched sides. We would just go with the motion. He'd go back to the weak dropper and I'd go back to the middle run through. But if we ever got caught out of position, we could play each other's positions. We didn't prefer it. I didn't prefer it. I don't think he did either. But we're all interchangeable at some point. I know I see Tremaine sometimes on the outside. It kind of confuses me because I don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, you know what everyone's doing, right? If you know the defense, you should know what everyone's position is doing.
How would you attack Jordan Love?
He's good. He takes care of the football. I think the number one thing is stop the run. If you can stop the run and make a team one-dimensional, it's going to help, especially in the elements that they're going to be playing in this weekend. It's playoff football. It's going to be cold. Stop the run, number one, and then get the takeaways. I got to eliminate the big plays. I know that makes some big plays on offense, but stop the run, number one, and then just make them go check downs and tackle the check down and get off the field.
How does it feel to be invited back? That honor of wearing that uniform and being invited back and hanging out with Hester, your former teammate, for a playoff game. Is it a cool honor for you?
It's very exciting for me, just to be back in front of our fans again and be around that atmosphere. I was there in, was it 18 when they played the Eagles, when that guy missed a kick. That's actually the last game I went to. So it's fun. Just that environment, you can't emulate that, especially at Soldier Field, the way those fans are. And from what I saw on TV versus the last time they played the Packers, I mean, that's going to be an amazing atmosphere. Get to be on the field before the game, be around those guys. I'm pretty excited about it.
Get ready, man. The crowd is going to go absolutely berserk when they see you on the sideline and they hear you introduced. Listen, man, I'm a 64-year-old Bears fan. Been here my whole life. And when Jeff told me you were going to be there, it got me as exciting as if I was buying a ticket and sitting in the stands. I can't wait to hear it.
I'm pumped, man. Like I said, from what I saw on TV versus the Packers last time, I can't imagine what's going to be like on the field and being, just that close to the atmosphere. I'm pretty excited about it. So you can't emulate that.
But why 54?
Fair. So I showed up to Hallis Hall, my rookie training camp, and they go, "Here's your number." I said, "All right, cool. Thank you." That's what happened, Tom. I had no say in it. I got to my teammate, was like, "There's your locker. There's your number." I was like, "Thank you." That was it. We didn't get to choose our numbers back then.
Brian, you're a simple man.
That's awesome.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The only thing you did ask for were chocolate chip cookies on your seat in the locker room everywhere you go.
That's it. Tim Bream.
I know, but why did that happen also?
So Tim started doing that. My rookie year, he put two of them, and I'm a snacks guy and a sweets guy, so I was happy about it. But he put it in my locker early in my career, and it just became a tradition. He kept doing it every week. Now, when he didn't, I'm assuming if he didn't do it, I'd be like, "Hey, what's going on? Are you mad at me or something, bro? Where's the cookies?"
Let me tell you a funny story about your cookies. So Arizona, the game that you guys came back, the crown them. So Tim Bream, we are walking around the stadium. He came up in a panic. He goes, "Look, I got to find chocolate chip cookies. They put raisin oatmeal cookies in the locker room."
Oh, no.
And so Chris Berman went into the ESPN buffet, got you cookies, chocolate chip cookies, gave them to me. I gave them to Bream, and Bream put them in your locker.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I talked to Berman last night on the phone. We laugh about it all the time because of some way, shape, or form we had to get you chocolate chip cookies.
Man, Bream got them in there every week because, home games are easy because Lisa would make them and just bring them to the stadium. But road games are a little different because you got to, you can't transport the cookies everywhere. You should, but you didn't.
How'd you like how Caleb developed over the course of the year, man?
I'll tell you the numbers I like. He doesn't turn the ball over, Jeff.
Yeah.
And the completion percentage, people are like, oh, he doesn't complete. Who cares? He doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
I'll take a low completion percentage for less turnovers as well. He's great, man. I love his interviews, how confident he is in himself. He loves his coaches. I love everything about it. I loved him from day one. He got a cannon, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude's got a rocket arm, but I'm so excited for him. Get this experience early in his career. It's only going to benefit him later on as well.
Hey, John Elway, his rookie year, he was 47% completion percentage. So
there you go.
It's kind of comparative athleticism with a rocket arm, a great athlete, and then just continue to keep developing.
I mean, he's only going to get better and better, right?
Yeah.
But it's the only one way to go for him and up. It's just it's exciting that they finally he's the guy. I don't care what anyone says. He's the guy. They finally got a freaking guy to play that position for 15 years.
And you would think you would love Ben.
He and I have a mutual friend. Chase Rice is a good friend of mine. He grew up with Ben, and Chase tells me stories about him. So I just by watching him on the sideline, I could play for that guy. No problem.
Yep.
The good, better, best is where, because when they say the good, better, best thing, Chase gets excited because he goes, we said that when we were kids. So,
wow, no kidding.
Yeah, they go way back. Yeah.
Tom, he gets excited about this football team when you talk to him.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I love when we talk to these guys, they go from Hall of Famer to fan. Now, when Brian Urlacher's on the sideline getting that crowd riled up, he's going to be a Chicago Bear fan. He's not going to put on shoulder pads and jersey and go out there. But what I really got from the interview was how much he appreciated the Bears fan, and all the excitement going into this football game. And I was super happy to hear that and see that, because every time that we either see an old teammate or a guy that we broadcast their games, we want them to be excited about taking part in the sideline.
No question. He'll be excited to be. First game he's been at Soldier Field since the 2018 Wild Card playoff game. Coming up next, our player profile with one of the bright stories of this season, one of the many rookies on this football team making a big impact. It's wide receiver Luther Burton, next on ESPN 1000 and the Bears Radio Network.
Welcome back to Bears Weekly on the Bears Radio Network. Here's your host, the voice of the Bears, Jeff Joniak.
This segment of Bears Weekly brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy. Visit athletico.com to request an in-clinic or virtual appointment and start feeling better tomorrow. Luther Burton, Tommy, averaged 2.7 yards per route run this season. That is third best in the National Football League, behind Puka Nacua of the Rams and Jackson Smith-Njigba of Seattle. Certainly didn't have as many touches and route run as those two, but it's the second highest by a rookie wide receiver in the Next Gen Stats NFL statistical era that started back in 2016. So pretty good company, not to mention, this is what makes me excited about him, Tom, is his yard after the catch ability, which is what was promoted when they drafted him. It was 7.4 yards after the catch per catch. That was number 3 in the NFL, behind Rashee Rice of Kansas City and DK Metcalf of Pittsburgh.
Well, whether you want to throw the ball to Luther Burton downfield or you want to give him a handoff on a wide receiver sweep, he's the most difficult tackle there is on the Bears. And I've really grown to appreciate Luther Burton, because you hear a lot of different stories about these guys when they come out of college. And can he live up to the hype? And he has lived up to the hype, and he's exceeded it. And I'm really happy for, obviously, the influence that Antoine Randall Ellis had on him, but how he's lived up to the billings.
Here's our conversation with the Missouri product, Luther Burton.
I feel like, man, it's just been a blast for real, man. Getting drafted, coming to a great town, great football, great fans, man. They love the Bears, dogs.
You feel them?
Yeah, I feel them for sure, man. I look on social media all the time, man. They always, got my back, about anything. So, it's been a blast, man, just being out there, being able to win games, contributing at a high level, and, just going out there competing, with teammates and my guys. And, we just getting started.
Yeah, you've done a lot. You've caught almost all your targets. Rare in this league to have that kind of catch rate accuracy. But talk about two big ones. The Dallas game, the big ball. If you can remember that play, break that one down for us, because we'll be showing that highlight for a long time.
Yeah, man. Obviously, that's my first HUD.
Yep.
We called it White House Special. So it's a flea flicker. Swifty. We hand off to Swifty. I act like I'm blocking somebody. get the safeties bite down like it's a run. Swifty toss it back. Caleb just air it out, man. And, I do what I do. So, I mean, I feel like that was a switch for, the whole entire, organization. I'm here. So,
Yeah.
So.
And then, of course, against San Francisco, heck of a catch. When Luther Burton III is streaming down the field and he's open, and I think the hand went up.
Yeah,
I love when that happens. Loveland did it in that game too.
Yeah.
You rookies with this confidence, you guys know you're playmakers. The hand goes up, real subtle, but hey, hope he sees it. Here I am.
That's all I need, just a little bit, man. If Caleb see me, he gonna, give me a ball, give me a chance. So, I mean, shout out to O-line for, blocking everybody, holding up, and it was a great play.
Everything that I ever heard about you from the time you were in high school, it's like, this guy's unique with the ball in his hands, and wait till you see him work his magic. How have you molded yourself into this tackle-breaking, missed tackle, lightning bolt? Because that's what you are.
My name been Touchdown Luther, since I was a little kid, man. Since I first started playing football. So, I mean, in Little League, like, I used to get the ball, and it was touchdown instantly. Like, nobody could tackle me. So, I mean, just having that mindset, I'm really just going out there having fun, man. Just doing what I can do. I mean, it's very hard to tackle in this league, so I feel like it's easier for me, because guys just really hauling, coming down, like not even breaking down, not even trying to square you up. They just hauling, trying to get a kill shot. So I mean, it's real easy.
You got Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Tackles, back it up, moving this way, right? You got some CW in you.
Yeah, man. I mean, you need to get Caleb out there, man.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, you guys could have been teammates at Oklahoma. People don't realize that. How close was that?
Man, I mean, I was committed there.
Yeah.
For a year. I mean, Coach Riley left, so
yeah.
I mean, could have went out there too.
Yeah.
But I want to take my own path, man, and create my own way. So I mean,
is that important to you to create your own path?
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, I feel like I'm cut from a different cloth. Like, I feel like I can do anything. I feel like I don't need anybody, to be on the bandwagon. I feel like I can be the one who start this, and, I want people to follow what I do. That's how I want
Many
about that.
people have told me you don't understand until you watch him play and watch him work every day. Because people throw this term around a lot, dog. But they attach that to you. This guy's different. This guy's a true dog. Now, when you hear that, and people in sports know what dog means, why are you the dog that they say you are?
I feel like there's just in me, dog. Like, I mean, I put so much work in, and I mean, it's bigger than me now. I'm playing for bigger things. So, just going out there and just doing it for the ones I love for, and I mean, you can't teach dog. So it got to be in you.
It's grit.
Yeah.
It's want to. But here's another one. It's fearlessness. Do you feel you're a fearless player?
Yeah, I feel like I'm fearless because, I mean, where I come from, I mean, I'm coming from the gutter. I come from the gutter. So, I mean, none was easy. None was handed to me. I had to work for extra hard, for everything I got. And, I'm truly blessed, being in this position. And, shoot, man, I'm just excited to be here.
Somewhat in a way to describe it, put it in context. As a kid growing up in that environment down there, backed into a corner, got to come out fists balled up and ready to fight, right, for everything.
You definitely don't get hurt by mistake, where I'm from. So, I mean, if you can get to this level from, situations where I come from, I mean, that says a lot about you. And it's a lot that people don't know, what I went through growing up. So I just, let that all on the field.
And you did it with a big family.
Yeah.
Is this correct? So are you one of 10?
I got 9 sisters.
9 sisters?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, so that tells, so you're protecting those sisters, right?
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And also trying to forge a legacy for your family name.
Yeah.
Is that
definitely.
what this is partly all about?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to say I'm living out my dad's dream, he didn't get to, obviously, play at the highest, or he went to the highest level, but he didn't, play, but
NBA, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel like I'm just, making him super proud, making my family super proud, and I'm where I'm supposed to be.
With a lot of yards after the catch, and in critical moments, you want to be that guy that they trust in critical moments. Will that be your reputation, do you think? or yet to be determined?
Yeah, I mean, it's just to be determined, man. Whatever the team needs, man, I'm here for it. You know, they drafted me here for a reason. So, you know, I feel like I trust them. You know, they're going to put me in the right position, you know, to succeed. And, you know, we in this thing together. So, I mean, it's teamwork. Coach L, you know, do a lot of, you know, me and him get together 6:30 in the morning every day. You know,
and that's to just discuss the plan or discuss your progress, or
No,
could it be about life and anything else?
Yeah, it could be about life.
Yeah.
You know, anything, man. Coach L, man, he's the guy, dog.
Yeah.
He's the guy, man. Coach L, that's my guy. Yeah, man, I mean, because at the end of the day, all of us, you know, want the same goal. We want to win. So whatever that takes, however that looks, I mean, that's what we're going to do. So, I mean, we can have tough conversations. We can discuss about it. I mean, it's whatever we got to do to win, that's what we're going to do.
All right, so he's appreciative. He knows he just comes from a different place, man. He grew up in a tough environment. It's made him a tough football player and one driven to be great. Tom, Roma Dunze out since Week 13, 5 touchdowns September. That was number 2 in the NFL that time, but only 1 touchdown since and troubled with a foot. So he's been out 4 weeks. What are your expectations to work him into the mix with all these guys?
You know, I think that's going to be an interesting call by Ben. Obviously, you got to see what you see out of him in practices and to see how that relationship with Caleb is continuing to grow. Because when you talk about the difficulty of that position, there's so many things that have to come into play in order to be run successfully. You got to know your routes. You got to see what type of coverages you're facing. You got to see how they cover you. You got to see how they're going to distribute the football, because there's a lot of guys that have been taking part in this receiver groups, and you know, whether it's DJ Moore or Zacchaeus or Devin Duvernay or Jede Walker. So how do you fit into the game planning? But Rome is a special wide receiver. That's why he was drafted so high, and I have extremely high expectations for him.
Coming up next, the quarterback, Caleb Williams, in the spotlight on Saturday night. This is ESPN 1000 of the Bears Radio Network.
Bears.
It is gone!
Bears Weekly.
Time expires!
A deep dive into all things Bears.
And the Bears win!
With Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer, this is the home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
This segment of Bears Weekly is brought to you by IGS Energy. With Tom Thayer, I'm Jeff Joniak. With a win Saturday night, Caleb Williams will be the 3rd youngest quarterback drafted, number 1 overall, to win a playoff start. Michael Vick, 22 years old, was the youngest. And you remember where he won that game?
Green Bay.
At Green Bay. That was a nighttime special, too. He tore up the Packers. Trevor Lawrence, 23 years old, at 22 season against the Chargers. Caleb Williams, super confident at the podium a couple of days ago. Let's listen in to the starting quarterback as he prepares for his first NFL playoff game.
You understand that you don't have another game, but in my mindset, I go into it, it's another game, and go out there and go win a game.
When you hear your coach say you're built for these moments, what do you think you have within you that gives everyone around you that feeling?
I am built for these moments, mentality-wise, how I've worked. I've been in a bunch of big games before and a bunch of big rival games, and so you know, in those moments and in these moments, I think I can provide a spark for the team. I think I can, do whatever my team needs me to do, whether that's stay in the pocket, whether that's run, whether that's scramble, whether that's whatever, hand the ball off 30 times, and be energetic about it. Whatever it takes is where I'm at and where I'm going to be at for these next couple of weeks, hopefully.
In what ways do you think this stage will be at all different from a big college game you played or a primetime game you played in the pros?
I treat them all the same. All the big games the same to me. It doesn't matter if it was high school for me, whether it was college or anything like that, whether it was a game that's going to get us into the playoffs. I think the mindset of it just changes a little bit because you know you don't have another game if you go out there and you don't accomplish the goal. The trust in myself, the belief in myself, a little bit of that arrogant confidence on the football field. You know, the trust and belief in who I have protecting me, the trust and belief and who I have calling the game, and then the trust and belief in who I have on the outside and in the backfield.
And Jeff said you're a completely different quarterback from when the staff took this job. In what ways do you feel that the most?
Yeah, I feel that I've grown tremendously so far this year, and it's exciting to see. That record was more or less the growth that I've had, and so it's that's where I've been at. That's where my mindset's been at. And then, at this moment, it's at an all-time high for myself of confidence, and I'm gonna go into the game that way. I'm gonna bring that this week. I'm gonna bring energy this week for the guys. I'm gonna bring the urgency because that's what we need.
Back in the summertime, you said that Ben set the standard for this team to be a 10, 11 win team. Did you think you would get there this quickly?
Yeah, I did. Me being the quarterback, having been as a coach, and then having the guys that we have. I've said it multiple times. We got a lot of guys that care and care about each other, but also care about winning. And you put that tandem together, and you can do a lot. And we've done a good job so far this year, but we got a lot more coming.
Through the season, what has worked for you when you've gotten off to good starts? Mm-hmm. What are the common factors you see that get you going like that?
Seeing the ball caught, whether it's a deep pass, a short pass, whatever the case may be. Seeing the ball caught, and then just telling myself, the small details, the footwork, keeping my base up under me, and all these different things, help me get off to a good start, and then. Allowing the guys to get into rhythm, allow myself to get into rhythm, and then, from there, we got a good shot to win the game.
First time you ever talked publicly about the Chicago Bears was at the Combine,
mm-hmm.
and your comment was that you wanted to create history
and
rewrite history.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Saturday fit in the context of that goal?
Yeah, it's a start of it. I think part of it was me getting here, coming here, and having that mindset throughout, and then having that confidence throughout, and then getting to this point, being able to go to the playoffs in the second year, my second year, coach's first year, and continue that mindset, that energy here in Chicago. I think is important. I think is where we're at, and I think it starts just like you said this weekend.
It was 4 different targets with 600 yards this year. What allowed you to get so comfortable with so many different guys?
Open communication with those guys, being on the same page with them, training camp and all the tough days. I think those have been big for us, and then the details have been, I think, over the past couple of weeks have been better of landmarks and assignments and spacing and routes and things like that. And so when all that comes together, it turns out to be pretty good. And I think we can be a lot better, and we will be a lot better.
Keep hearing this from Ben. Keep hearing it from Caleb. He does not shy away. He's built for moments like this. You need that belief at quarterback, do you not, to win a playoff game?
Of course you do. But, it's the requirements of Ben Johnson, the head coach, who's the leader of this football team, that he puts on the quarterback. And he knows this offense as well as anybody. So he knows when the quarterback is getting it. And I think you do go through some growing pains initially, and then you start seeing this guy starting to get this play. He's starting to get this route. He's starting to be able to talk the information in the huddle and know exactly what he's saying. And Caleb always says that this is what he's built for. This is what he is. He is a really successful quarterback from the roots of his position, that it happens to be at the next level of his career. And he has so much faith in himself that he doesn't shy away from the opportunity.
All right, so here's something interesting. 2 teammates of yours. So Jim Harbaugh in 1991 was the last Bear quarterback to beat the Packers twice in a season during the Super Bowl era. That was Jim Harbaugh, youngest quarterback to do so. He would be the youngest Bears quarterback in the Super Bowl era with a playoff win, beating out Mike Tomczak, age 27, in 1988.
And listen, and offenses were so much different back then. The communication devices and the helmets of the quarterbacks weren't yet discovered. So there was a lot of different elements that went along with playing the quarterback position back then when it was a run-oriented league.
It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. And it'll be interesting to hear what's coming up next with Tom's thoughts. We'll also have a snippet from defensive assistant Matt Giordano here on ESPN 1000 of the Bears Radio Network.
Bears Weekly is back, and so are Tom Thayer and Jeff Joniak on ESPN Chicago.
This segment of Bears Weekly brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy. Visit athletico.com to request an in-clinic or virtual appointment and start feeling better tomorrow. Before we get to Tom's thoughts, I had a one-on-one defensive assistants available this week. First long conversation I had with Matt Giordano, wonderful young coach, former Indianapolis Colt, played in several different organizations, but was in that Super Bowl when Hester returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. It was Giordano chasing him down, got him in the end zone, but too late as the Bears jumped in front before losing that game. But he's got a lot of playoff experience. He discusses what advice he'd give to players who have never been in a playoff game.
The best advice I would give them is, obviously ignore the noise. This is a playoff game, but also you got to stay true to your process, and you got to stay true to how you prepare. There's going to be a lot of noise. There might be some distractions, outside the building, whether it's family or friends, and you just got to ignore that. You got to stay true, because I would say this to the players right now. It's a special opportunity that you have. It's not guaranteed every season that we get to go to the playoffs. And so you got to make sure you don't hold on too tight, but you also got to recognize the special opportunity that you have, and you want to make the most of it.
Will you be able to notice by virtue of just knowing your guys and body language if they're a little too high or too tight early, or if they're ready to roll?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the good news is we got a good even-keeled group, and so the best encouragement I always give is, hey, don't blow all your energy during pregame. And so I'm sure I'm going to tell them that at some point, because the atmosphere, I cannot wait. It's going to be rocking. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Right. I mean, 1941, 2010, 2011 NFC Championship game. That's it between these two in 105 years.
Yeah.
Put that in perspective.
That's a special opportunity right there. So I cannot wait to see them in that stadium Saturday night. I know they're going to be locked in and ready to go. If they put in the time, they put in the work.
Sure. Yeah, I think Matt has the great privilege of being able to talk the same experiences he's had with some of the guys he's coaching now. You get some young players that come in to play this game, and there's nothing like having the experience to talk from, just like when you were talking to Luther about Antoine Randall. His experiences help Luther speed up his learning curve.
Yeah, most of these coaches on this staff have either played in or coached in playoff games, and some at a very high level at the Super Bowl or conference finals. So it's a staff equipped with a lot of institutional knowledge about playoff football. All right, Tom's thoughts. Can't wait. Welcome back. We've missed you.
And, that's basically to Roman Kyler. Roman Dunze has never missed a game in his career. So when I think about, we talked a little bit about it, about how intricately run the receiver position is. This is the first time he's going to have to miss games and come back to work. He never did that before in college. So I'm really interested to see what they decided during the course of this week of practice that shows that Rome is ready to go out and pick up right where he left off. And then when I think of Kyler Gordon, oh my gosh, are you coming back at the best time when we need you the most? C.J. Gardner-Johnson is already going to miss time with this concussion. If Kyler Gordon is ready to go and Dennis Allen is figure out this week, he's ready to sit back, he's ready to plug back in here and play those nickel coverage responsibilities he has. My gosh, guys, we've missed you. We've talked a lot about you, and it's good to see you back.
Yeah, and some really tough assignments. Guys like Jaden Reed, who's a heavily targeted player when he's healthy, and high target rate completion percentage and high quarterback rating against him. So they can use multiple players in that slot position. All right, forget about the past. Play for the future.
Right, because no matter what's happened in the past within this rivalry, because that's all we talk about, you go back and you look at some of the numbers of how many games that they played, how many points they've scored in the NFL, how many different locations they played at. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter the game that they played 2 weeks ago. It's about everything that goes into playing a playoff game and about where this team is going. And, I was talking to some people in Green Bay today, and they were trying to bring up all the things that they went through. I said, that doesn't matter. I said, we can sit here and have comparisons to anything you want to talk about in the past, but it's only a matter of what's going to happen Saturday night starting at 7:00. And that's going to be the future. And this is the road this rivalry is taking. When you look at the two really qualified and quality head coaches, good organizations and everything, This is not about the past, even though there's a record that's left that we talk about all the time. This is about the future.
Yeah, most of all, you never want to talk about that stuff.
No,
you get a little agitated when numbers are thrown. You put your fingers in your eardrums and keep it quiet, everybody, because it's nothing to discuss. All right, we'll leave it.
Dick always used to drop a line about the past, and I'm not going to drop it, but he used to have a line about it all the time.
For cowards and losers?
Yes.
Yes. Or if you dwell on the past, you're doomed to repeat it. That's another one. Emotions must last 4 quarters, and can I add a little bit to that?
Yeah.
And more if necessary.
That was kind of the caveat to it. But the thing about it, Jeff, is if one team starts going one way or the other, then sometimes there's guys that become antagonizers. And so you can't let that take you away from the game. And Giordano talked about it. Ben has talked about it, that you have to have emotional control. You got to go out there and you got to play a level of football that maybe you didn't even know that you had it within your body, your system, and your ability. But if you get hit late or something unfortunate happens, you can't lose your mind. You can't lose a possession. You can't lose yards. You can't lose a down and distance because maybe you're kind of emotionally losing it. So as hard as we want you to play, you got to keep your emotions intact for however long this game lasts.
All right, Tom, we're out of time. Appreciate it. Good luck on getting to Soldier Field on. I hope you'll be on time. That's all I got to ask. That's all I ask, Tom. Get there on time.
It's just you get aggravated when I ask you to be on time, so I'm just going to leave that in my rearview mirror.
That's why I said it. The executive producer of the Bears Radio Network, Eric Ostrowski. Thank you to Kendra Smith. This has been Bears Weekly on the radio home of the Chicago Bears, ESPN Chicago. Mississippi and Miami are next. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Chicago Bears Network presentation of Bears Weekly, hosted by the mayor of Bearsville, Jeff Joniak, and Surfmaster Tom Thayer. Podcasts are available on the Chicago Bears official app, brought to you by Verizon and Apple Podcasts. Bears Weekly has been brought to you by Miller Lite.